Yeah.
Hello, you're on the air. Who are you?
This is the real Red.
Hey, Red, what's up?
No,
I wanted to ask you, did you and Brian ever get into a fight, or like one of you ever knock each other out?
Yeah, no. What? That's pretty funny, though. Alright, we'll answer on the air, man. Off the air. Thanks.
Right.
Later. Oh, man.
Not like actual fisticuffs.
Yeah.
I mean, these guys would yell at
That's
each other.
more
I've
like
never
what?
seen them get in a
Dude, when you're like kids, you know, you wrestle and stuff.
Once I hit 13, that was the end of that shit.
Kevin pushed his mom out the window.
Dude, you know what? It's like a weird, like, Brian and I have, like, hung out with each other, like...
Kevin took acid and ran across the roof of the high school.
For like... I didn't run across the roof of the high school.
Yeah, you did.
High school? How do you even get on the roof of the high school? You're thinking of somebody else.
You can. You know how to do it. Everybody's doing it.
Dude,
you know how.
You knew me in high school. Do you think I actually got on the roof of it? I'm telling you, it didn't happen.
Right.
Brian and I just tolerate each other for so long that, you know, that kind of stuff doesn't happen. I mean...
Yeah, we get along pretty good.
Some people, like, you know, they don't, like, hang out with their brothers and stuff, but Brian and I, like, have hung out forever. So it's kind of like... You're just used to each other. You don't get... When you're mad, you don't even get that mad. You just know. You know, it's not something to...
Yeah, they get mad. You should see it, people. It's awesome. They're lying to you. Don't let them lie to you. I've seen these guys go into full kung fu fisticuffs.
Like Anderson's house.
They come jumping out of darkness, jump on each other and stuff. It's great.
It's like in Rambo 3, you know, when the guy walked by outside the mud wall, had eyes, and just come out and slit my throat.
Yep.
The other thing is, Brian always carries a dull knife. So, if you really want to, you know, feel some pain, get stabbed by a dull knife. You know,
If you've ever been stabbed before, if you've ever been stabbed before, then you definitely don't want to be stabbed with a dull knife. Okay.
And he's got these rings on with like spikes. Like every other finger has a ring that's like a skull with spikes. So I mean, if you were gonna fight the guy, you just get flayed. I mean, you get fucked up. Dude, even if you win, it's not gonna. You know, you punch his face. You're gonna. Yeah, there's gonna be earrings and shit stuck in your hand. You know, you're probably gonna get your hand hung up there somehow. You can't get it off.
Your hand back in my face is still gonna be attached.
Right. You know, it's fucked up. You don't want to.
Dude, get him off me! I can't run over.
It ain't gonna be good.
Now I, on the other hand, I once wanted to fight Kevin.
Jesus.
What the hell were you thinking?
It wasn't me. It was.
Legs are like
I know it wasn't.
It was Bill. But Don thought that I was spreading rumors about him at school, and it wasn't me. And I had to prove it to him. But you know,
got all tough.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Except he got sick. He ate like a jumbo Frosty and threw up or something.
No, it was a 2-liter Dr. Pepper in 20 minutes.
Yeah, whatever. So by the time he got to my house, he was too fucking sick. At some point.
I'm like, I'm going to kick your ass, dude.
Alrighty then, I'll be ready here.
Didn't make a damn difference. Alright, so this one's from Michael from Ogden, Utah. And he says, the last time I was in a stand-up arcade was at some movie theater. I can't remember the last stand-up arcade game I played, but I do remember this awesome Star Wars sit-down game. Man, that rocked. It's probably Star Wars.
That was pretty cool.
That's that one at Dave & Buster's.
Well, they had one at Up to Par, too, I believe.
No, that was the...
Well, the original, the Vector one. Yeah.
Yeah, that was cool.
That was
that one was alright.
That was the one. The thing about that original Vector Star Wars. Well, first of all, there's a listener to our show who holds like the all-time world's record in that game. So I'm sure he's going to write. Yeah, so I'm sure he's going to write in and comment about that again. And that's cool. But did you know that the controller for that game was actually modeled after the steering wheel for the Bradley tank? So it's just kind of interesting.
Well, good to know.
You know,
well, so if you've heard of the Bradley tank.
So that guy, he should go to Iraq, and he should kick ass. It's not really a tank. It was supposed to be a troop carrier, but, you know, it's dumb. Tom, from Melbourne, Victoria, Australia, says, the last stand-up game I played was Street Fighter II, which needs no introduction. Nothing really crazy has happened to me or any of my friends at an arcade, although one time me and my mates were waiting for some 5-year-old kid to get off Time Crisis. The kid hadn't put any money in, and we were just waiting for him to leave. 5 minutes later, he was still there, so I said, hey, are you nearly done? All of a sudden, the kid's mom comes over and starts telling us off for abusing her kid. She even slapped one of us. By the way, I live in Australia, and I would just like to clarify something. Although it sounds like we ban lots of games, it really isn't so. In Australia, we have a rating system for video games that is different to our movie system. Our movie system is G, PG, M, MA, and R ratings. However, our video game systems doesn't have an R rating. Therefore, if a game does not fall into the MA rating, it is banned. I believe in America, your adults-only rating, which is the equivalent of R. Keep up the good work. Yeah, but it's not banned if it's adults only. See, that's the difference, is that you could get it. The reason they don't make games that are adults only, except for like Virtua Jenna Jameson or something, is because you can't, the chains won't carry them. You could still order them over the internet, but you just can't, you can't go into Walmart and be like, can I get Virtua Jenna Jameson? Because that wouldn't go on here. But you could still, you could still get it. It's in, MA. But it sounds like to me, in Australia, you just can't get it. You can't get Grand Theft Auto, San Andreas. Now, I realize that all you guys have your ways, and, there's importers, and there's stuff you can order, and everybody's looking the other way. But from a legal perspective, it's bullshit.
You got to change your evil ways.
Yeah. Fix the system, man. What the hell? There's only, 20 million people in Australia? That, dude, you could run, and you could be the president of that country someday.
There's 20 million people in Australia, and half of them are prisoners.
Yeah, it's going to go over
building
well.
a wall around it, as we speak.
Did I just say that?
Australia.
All right, what do we got here?
Not really.
They're all related to prisoners anyways.
We only got a couple more, so I'll read them.
This
is Scott from Scotts Bluff, Nebraska. He says, hey guys, I'd love to tell you all about all my crazy arcade experiences, but I'd like to revisit the infamous Tammy email by one of your listeners. This girl apparently would jerk in the direction she wanted her character to move on screen, and one time she did this so hard her boob popped out in front of all these male friends. Just thought I'd give a shout out to that guy, as it was the funniest letter you have read on VGN. By the way, this is Scott from Scotts Bluff, and last week Don said 1,230 words. Scott. Hey, Scott.
That'll never happen again.
Thanks for counting.
That fucking boob falling out of the shirt was all the rubbish. We know that. Come on.
You like that story.
It'd be on the internet if it happened.
It's crap, dude. Yeah, it was on the internet. It's under that, what is that thing? My mom always sends these bullshit emails that aren't true, and I was Scopes. I'm sure you've got it under Scopes.
All right, this one's from Brandon, and he says, okay, I entered the contest from the contest entry, but you said it doesn't work anymore, so I'm just going to enter it here. So the last arcade game I played was none, because I don't do arcades. Well, that's good, Brandon, but you failed to read the rest of the thing on the site that said you must include your address or you're disqualified. So, unfortunately...
You were halfway there, buddy.
Yeah, you were halfway there.
Way to go, Fonzie.
But you failed.
Too cool for the game.
Way to go, Fonzie. You just Ralph Mouthed yourself.
This is Bryce from Cortland, New York. He says, the only arcade game I go to doesn't get new games. Some foreign guy owns it, and he doesn't speak much English, so we like to fuck with him, but it's all in good fun. Anyway, the games I play there are Ms. Pac-Man, Mortal Kombat 4, Street Fighter 2, Centipede, and the Simpsons arcade game. The last time I went to a real arcade, though, I think the latest game there was Time Crisis 3 or something like that. You can tell I like to stay at home and away from those crazy Asians playing Dance Dance Revolution like it's their life. Well, I guess they play it that way because it's their life. I wouldn't be surprised if Dance Dance Revolution comes out for the DS and the dance pad is the touchscreen and you use the stylus instead of your feet. Bad luck with the server issue. Glad you're keeping it going despite the problems. We really appreciate it. Fuck you, Brian.
You know what? You know that letter's fake. You know why?
That's the way it should be.
Because who the hell is still paying to pay? Who's still paying to play Miss Pac-Man?
Well,
Miss Pac-Man rocks, man.
You know what? People with cell phones that want to play it or something.
It still comes on cell phones. I mean, it's coming on every cell phone that's out there. You know what I mean? You could buy a TV at Best Buy. It comes with Miss Pac-Man.
All right, man.
Okay, never mind. Go on.
No, I mean, I see you're making a point. It's,
I'm being dumb. Stop it.
Well, people. But you know what, dude? When you were drunk at the bar one night, you were like, "I'm playing this," and it's like some arcade game that you would never have played if you were sober, and you sat down and you played it.
Go to the arcade to play it.
You might if you were drunk enough. No, I don't know.
I went into the arcade at Great Northern Mall, or whatever they call it now. They're like selling games. They don't even they have like a boxing game, the dancing game, like skee ball, and then a wall of games that they're selling. That's it.
Like the arcade machines they're selling?
It's broken.
Yeah.
Really?
All the ugly punkers have been kicked out. Oh, no drug dealers in the mall.
What the hell is wrong with you, Baird?
Dude, Westview sucks. I hate that fucking place.
Westfield.
Whatever, dude. It's
Well, they're all owned by... No, they're all owned by Westfield.
all I know is
it's an
that
Australian company.
Great Northern fucking mall was great because it was dark and evil and seedy looking, and now it's all bright and neon.
Fuck was the
and
mall
filled with pink clothes and it's
dark and seedy?
Stores.
Great Northern was like great, dude.
You're
It
crazy.
was awesome. It used to be great.
Yeah, now it's bullshit.
Now
You have to
it's
run away from the security guards and be like, "Let me see how much money you got."
It's a
Look,
fucking shopping complex. What is it? What
Back in the day, there was nothing else to do.
Make it sound like it was all metal and shit.
It could be.
It was.